Welcome. Welcome, you guys. I feel like it's been like forever. It has been a minute since I came on live. I think my last live was maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. But we are back, you guys. I want to say it was Wednesday. Yes, for sure it was Wednesday. We are back, y'all. How has this full moon energy been affecting you guys? I hope that everybody's having an amazing day so far. I hope that everybody has been utilizing the energy of the cosmos right now to manifest and to release, not even necessarily manifest, but to release. I know a lot of people say you don't manifest under the full moon. But I beg to differ. I feel like manifestation is literally just showing proof, and manifesting doesn't necessarily mean that you are trying to bring something in, like you're trying to manifest a job or things like that. But when I say manifest, is literally just showing proof or manipulating a situation so that it can work in my favor. So manifestation is also, if I'm releasing something, the fact that a weight has been lifted off of me, I have now manifested more patience. I have manifested, being more happy or whatever the case is. So yeah, that's just my spiel on that. But definitely, I hope that you guys have been using this energy. It has been very, I don't want to say chaotic because it's not really chaotic, but there's this sense of peace that I have been feeling, and also anxiety at the same time. It's like overwhelming, but it's not like a negative feeling. It's like, I can't explain it. I really can't put it into words, but that's how I've been feeling. So let me know down in the comments how you guys have been feeling the last week or so. What's the energy like? Have you been feeling tired? I know a lot of people have been feeling a lot like really sluggish and tired, fatigued. Like I feel like I've been procrastinating a lot, but I've honestly been getting a lot of stuff done. I have been showing myself a lot of grace over these last couple of weeks because it has been necessary. So I hope that you guys have been handling this energy well. Again, let me know down in the comments how y'all have been adapting to the changes, the shifts, and the things that whatever's going on in your life. We're typically on the same vibes as far as like how I'm feeling, or things that have been affecting me, because your vibe attracts your tribe. But we're typically on the kind of like the same energy when I'm dealing with certain stuff, certain things. A lot of times my audience can resonate with that as well. So if you guys are feeling anything like I'm feeling, I hope that you are showing yourself grace during this transition, during this time, asking yourself asking yourself what can be taught or what can you learn through this situation, not trying to suppress it, not trying to force yourself out of it, but simply just existing and being in it so that you can work through it. So thank you guys for being here. I am Yinka, the owner and creator of my snack shop. If this is your first time, hey loves, how y'all doing? Hey Jada, hey Tierra. Jada said every time I'm going through things, you always pop up because I'm always here. I'm always here. Let me see what Tierra says. She said I've been down. I've been a little down lately. What's going on, mamas? How you been feeling? What's going on? But yes, y'all, divine timing for sure. I'm glad that I'm able to show up when you need it the most, Jada. But yes, what was I about to say? Oh, that's what I was saying too. Like when I'm dealing with something, typically y'all be dealing with something along the lines. Like, of course, we all have different experiences, but typically the energy is about the same throughout the tribe. So I'm glad that I'm able to be a vessel to help you guys on your journey wherever you may be right now. So if you guys are meeting me for the first time, I am Yinka, the owner and creator of my snack shop, and I help women balance their hormones naturally. But here on this channel, we talk about holistic healing, mind, body, and spirit, tapping into your feminine energy so that you can have a softer life, so that you can have a life of ease, a life of leisure. That is what we talk about here on this channel, and how we can heal on all aspects of our life so that we can achieve that goal. If you guys are not new here, go ahead and make sure y'all like this video. Go ahead and get them likes up real quick, get them shares up. I have not been on YouTube like live since like last Wednesday, so it's been like a week since we've been live. You said trying to get things together for my business. Oh yeah, you in the Rebirth Society, Tiara? I feel like you are, but I know you taking a medicine woman course, but are you in the Rebirth Society? I'm not sure. But how is that going for you? I've been pivoting in my business as well. Y'all, I've been having so many epiphanies, and I've been having this since, I want to say like the end of November, up until continue like as of present day. Like I've been having so many like epiphanies, so many like directions. Like spirit is just like taking me on a completely different, like everything I thought mattered to me, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter to me, but my perspective has changed drastically, like almost complete opposite. So okay girl, you said you saying yes to being in the Rebirth Society. I ain't seen you in no trainings. We just did a training earlier. We did a Q&A earlier. You ain't asked me no questions about business. We literally just did a Q&A around 8 o'clock. And I ain't see you, sis. So what's going on? What's going on? Well, we're going to talk about that right now. Go to the Rebirth Society and put your questions down in the chat to the video or to the live we just did earlier today, so I can get those questions answered for you. And I'm also doing free coaching calls this week. So yeah, utilize the group, y'all. Utilize the group. If you're in the Rebirth Society, use me. You have paid me for a service, so use me in the group. Y'all shouldn't be stressed out about business. If you in the Rebirth Society, you shouldn't be stressed out about business. Ashe. Yes. So y'all, back to my epiphanies, right? So spirit has just been changing everything to the point where I feel like I owe a couple people an apology, just because these are things that they tried to tell me this time last year, but it didn't really hit me until the end of last year. So I'm just like, all this shit that I talked to them, and then I ain't gonna say I talk shit to them, but I was just pretty much just like, oh, okay, well, I'll see. He said, I've been busy with my son and his basketball. Okay, love. Well, the replay is still up there, so make sure you go and get those gems and ask your questions, even if you don't, because I didn't really talk about much tonight. But for sure, make sure you're asking your questions in the group so you can get so they can get answered. And if you need a coaching call, definitely book your coaching call. So yeah, when it comes to what we're talking about tonight is going to be the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness. And I'm going to be very transparent on this live. And when I say transparent, I'm talking about in business, outside of business, my personal, all of those things. But I'm going to just be as transparent as possible as far as my own pursuit of happiness and my own pursuit of, you know, just a freedom. That's really what it is, because happiness is freedom. I literally use those terms interchangeably. Like, happiness is not a dollar amount. Happiness is not a status. Happiness is nothing but freedom. Freedom to be yourself. Freedom to be literally just be and exist, like with no obligations and not being unapologetic. Like, that's what happiness is to me. And a lot of people say, like, you know, happiness is a choice, or, you know, you have to choose to be happy. And I 100% agree with that. But there are people who are dealing with like depression and anxiety who don't agree to that. They don't feel like nobody chooses to be nobody chooses to be sad, nobody chooses to be overwhelmed, nobody chooses that. And I want to kind of break that down. But the intention of this video is to help anybody who is dealing with depression and anxiety and are on a journey to be happy. And even if you aren't dealing with depression and anxiety, but if you're just still at a place where you just don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel happy, hopefully this video can help you to kind of sort through those thoughts and ultimately get you to this happiness that you are looking for, or this life of bliss. So Again, I'm going to be very transparent, so I'm going to be talking about a lot of my own stories, but y'all can definitely chime in, whether y'all agree, disagree, or if y'all resonate, however, but definitely chime in. But as I would say, like, a pursuit to happiness for myself, I honestly cannot give you like a certain time in my life where I said, hey, I want to be happy, because I can't really pinpoint a time in my life where I have not been happy for a long time, other than when I went through my first shadow phase. And this was 2016 up to 2020, up until 2018. That's when I went through like my first shadow phase period. Like my first, like, the closest thing to depression that I've ever seen was going through shadow work. And that happened in like 2016, 2017, up to 2018. And I can't never really say, like, even when things weren't going good in my life, or things like, you know, I didn't have no money, or, you know, I was like failing in school or stuff like that, like, there's never been a time where I didn't feel like overall happy. Like, I feel like the divine always had certain people around, or had certain things that come up to like make me, I guess I'm just a grateful person. I've just never been somebody who's just been like, woe is me. Like, I've always been the type of person that anything that happens to me, I might be frustrated in that moment, but I'm not gonna sit and ponder on things that I can't control. Like, it is what it is. Like, I just like to flow through things. Hey, love. So I've never been that type of person. So as I was going through like what my first shadow phase was, I was trying to get back to understanding who I was. And that's really where a lot of you guys are right now. You have done your healing, or you started your healing. You're becoming more aware. You're more enlightened with certain things, and now it's time for you to relearn who you really are, or get to know who you really are, after you've done all the shedding of what society has told you who you were. Once you go and unlearn everything that you once learned about who you were, and what's your moral conduct and all those other things that everybody else has labeled on you. Now it's time for you to figure out, who the fuck am I? Like, what do I really like? What am I here for? Who am I supposed to be? That's where you currently are right now. And I say that this is a pursuit of happiness because self-mastery is happiness. When you know that you're thriving, there's never a time where you are in alignment with your Ori, or you're in alignment with your higher being. There's never a time where you're doing that and you're depressed. Or you're in a state of, and when I say depressed, I'm not saying like you're not gonna go through times where you're not your best, because that's what it is. But I look, because that's not what it is, or that's not what I'm saying. But when I look at depression, I'm talking about sadness, deep sadness for an extended amount of time. That's what depression is, like deep sadness for an extended amount of time, to the point where you don't want to bathe, you don't want to clean up, you don't want to do nothing, but just sleep. That's depression. And of course, depression looks different in all different levels, but that it's not likely for you to be in a deep state of depression when you are following where spirit wants you to go. And I want you guys to understand that, like, that's how you know. Like, we always ask ourselves, like, how do we know we're on the right track? How do we know we're doing the right things? Because our expectations for what's right and what's good is based off of a human or an emotional level, not knowing that your Ori always knows what's best for you. The divine always knows what's best for you. And even though you might not feel happy because of this, like, for an example, what's best for you might be to leave the person that you're with, like as far as friends or a relationship that you're in. That might be what's best for you. That might hurt a little bit, because that might be a friend of 20 years. You might have been dating them for 5 years. So it might hurt. It might not feel good to have to release that relationship. However, once you understand that this is in alignment with your higher self, or this is just a part of your journey, this is not going to look like depression. I don't feel like that's the same thing as depression. Because when you're going through a breakup and you know that it's healthy, it's not just the relationship ended and you want them back and you stalking them. But if you know that you had to make the conscious decision to let this person go because it is what's best for you, it's not likely that you're going to stay in a state of sadness for a very long time. Is it going to feel good all the time or for an extended time? Absolutely. It may, I don't know how long it may hurt. It's going to be it varies person to person, but that's not depression when you have awareness. That's my main distinction between depression and shadow healing. Because depression is somebody who's not conscious of why they're in so much pain, versus, or why they're in so much sadness, versus somebody who knows what's going on. Like, you might not know why that experience, you had to experience that, or why you had to let that person go, but you have an understanding of knowing, like, this wasn't good for me and I have to let this go, and it's gonna hurt right now, but I'm gonna get through it. That's what I would say, like, the difference, because there's literally, clinically, or like psychologically, there's no difference between shadow work and depression, because they look the same. They really do look the same on the outside. So that would be my distinction between the two. So when I'm saying that you're not going to feel depressed, that's the difference. Like, you're aware of why you're sad, you're aware of this hurting and why it had to hurt, but understanding that on the other side of this is something better for you. So when it comes to you trying to find happiness, for one, happiness is a state of being. Happiness is a choice. The same way on the other side of the spectrum, like, it is a choice to stay somewhere, or to be in a place for an extended amount of time, just like everything else in your life. Like, being poor is a choice, being successful is a choice. Like, nobody just looks up and becomes successful. They are intentionally and deliberately building something consistently to be successful. Nobody just happens to be in shape. They actually had to go to work out and eat right and things like that. Like, everything you do is a collective of choices. So when you are looking for what you consider happiness, ask yourself first, what is happiness to you? What would your life look like if you were happy? What is happiness to you? And this is not a material thing. So when you're writing this list of what is happiness to you, it shouldn't be about, having this car, working this job, having this person as your partner. Like, it shouldn't be anything external. Let's start there. Nothing external outside of you should be related to your happiness, or, outside things can contribute to it. Money can definitely contribute to happiness, but money does not make you happy. What money can do for you makes you happy. That freedom of being able to not have to stress about bills makes you happy. Those are the things that make you happy. The material things don't make you happy. Designer clothes or clothes in general should not make you happy, but being clothed or being sheltered or making sure that you're comfortable and that you feel good and you look good, those are things that can contribute to your happiness. Being clean, being looking attractive, those are things that could contribute to your happiness. But the actual clothes that you're wearing should not be the determining factor for that. Having shelter and having your bills paid, that could be contributing to your happiness. But where you actually live should not be determined on whether your happiness, whether you living in the hood or living in the suburbs, it should not be a factor of your happiness, because you should be able to be happy living under a bridge. You should be able to tap into happiness. You should be able to tap into that peace anywhere in the world. And so that's what I want you guys to understand. When we are pursuing happiness, let's figure out, what is happiness to you? Right? Make a list of what is happiness to you. I am happy when I am. And this is not something outside of you, or this is not something future tense. You've been happy before. Go back and look at the things that you've actually been happy doing. If it was your birthday and people were celebrating you, write down feeling appreciated. That makes me feel happy. If you were happy when you were dancing and singing with your friends, being childlike, being careless, not having responsibilities, that makes me happy. Enjoying my day, a beautiful sunny day. Go back and look at the times where you were happy. Because I find it hard to believe that, or I ain't gonna say it's hard to believe, but I find it interesting that a lot of people who deal with, like, being ungrateful, a lot of times it is because, and that's literally what it is, you're just ungrateful. It's a lot of times because you don't reflect enough. A lot of times when people just feel like, I'm in a muck right now, like it's just one thing after another, things are just spiraling in my life. Go back to the basics. When was the last time you felt really, really good? I don't care if it was 10 years ago. When was the last time you felt empowered, where you felt dominating, where you felt amazing at your best? When was that last time, and what were you doing? How was your life? What was going on that was good for you? That's the things that you want to ask yourself. The things that have already happened, because we look at happiness, or somebody who's pursuing happiness, we look at that as something that has not happened yet. I don't know. I'll ask somebody, like, especially men, like I ask them, oh, what makes you happy? And they'll be like, I don't know. I ain't never been happy. You're lying, nigga. You're lying, because you was just cackling and having fun with me the other night, and that seemed happy to me. That seemed happy to me. We're looking at happiness as a period of time, a big chunk of time, but happiness is a day-to-day thing. You're not going to wake up every single day happy. You should, because just the fact that you get to take another breath and open your eyes, but some people look at it as like they wish they didn't wake up. And I want you to see, like, how ungrateful you're being, how ungrateful that is, and that's the reason why you still constantly feel like that. I always tell people, especially when, like for my students and things like that, like when they're telling me that they're frustrated and they're overwhelmed with, trying to start their business and things like that. My main point that I always make is, are your basic necessities met? Did you eat something today? Are you outside in the rain? It's been raining literally all day long today. It's going to rain all day tomorrow. Are you outside in the rain, or do you have some shelter? Are you in good health? Are you in the hospital? Or are you dying? Are you in pain, in any physical pain? If the answer is no to any of those questions, then you have a reason to be grateful. You have a reason to smile. You have a reason to say thank you, because there are a lot of people who don't have clean water. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're eating today, if they ate anything. It's a lot of people who are outside, and these are basic human necessities. I'm not talking about what type of car. If you got a car is not a necessity. Having furniture in your house is not a necessity. It's not a necessity. Having a fully stocked refrigerator is not a necessity. You can eat a few bananas and be okay. But did you eat something today? Are you hungry? Do you have shelter? Are you living in a box? Are you outside in the cold? Or can you just turn a switch and turn the light on? Or can you just turn a switch and make it warm in your house? These are the simple things that we're taking advantage of. And when you go back and just look at simplicity, what happiness, imagine what your life would be if you did not have those things. It's just reverse engineering it. If you did not have somewhere to lay your head tonight, how would you feel? Even if you say you staying with somebody and you ready to move out there because you just hate your living environment, are your basic necessities met? And how would you be if you didn't have at least this person to live with? It might not be where you want to live at right now, but you got somewhere to be. Be grateful. That's how you get to the next level. That's how would you know? How would you know what to be grateful for? Or how would you know what happiness is if you've never been sad? How would you know what success is if you've never been poor? How would you know these things? So if you are pursuing happiness, if you are pursuing peace, you're pursuing freedom, the main thing I want you to do is just go back and ask yourself, when was the last time I felt really, really good, and what was going on in my life? Whatever the answer to that is, go back and reinvent that, recreate that experience. And not meaning like, oh, well, the last time I was really, really happy was when I was in college. I ain't saying go back to college, but what I am saying is go back. If you were happy when you were around friends, when you were happy when you didn't have, you weren't chasing money because you just went to school, you was just going to school, you wasn't having to work, you didn't have to pay bills because you was living in a dorm. If that's when you felt the happiest, let's go back to that point and let's start to recreate those things. What were you doing every day? What happened? Like, and a lot of times I want you guys to really understand that a lot of times a lot of people don't know what happiness is, or they can't recall that, because a lot of times when people feel like they are happy, they're doing stuff that really isn't happy. A lot of people go and they relate their happiness to, oh, well, for my birthday we went to this big party. Girl, you were fucked up. You don't even remember the party. You were on so many drugs. You were so high. And all of those are linked to depression. That's not linked to celebration. That's not linked to happiness. And I had to even say this to myself, because I forgot where I was listening to this. It was somebody, I don't know if it was like a reel or like an interview I was watching. But the guy was pretty much saying, like, people say that drinking is celebratory, or you can smoke with your friends for their birthday or whatever, and it's celebratory, and people say like, oh, I'm not depressed, I'm just doing it because we're celebrating, or I only do it socially or whatever, and they don't link the depression and stuff to that, to the drugs or to the substances in general. But he said, whoever this guy was, I can't remember, I watched this a little minute ago, but he was pretty much saying, if that was the case, when you're happy, why don't you do those things? When you're happy, why aren't you drinking a pint of Hennessy by yourself? When you're happy, why aren't you just smoking yourself out in a coma and sleeping all day? You don't do those things when you're happy. Happy people don't just do that to the point where they're sleeping their life away. Like, happy people don't do that. So why are you, if you're saying that this is what you consider happiness, or if you're considering it or saying that this is not associated with darkness, or not darkness, but associated with depression, then why don't you do that when you're actually feeling happy? Because there's nothing pleasant about somebody getting fucked up every single day, every single weekend. There's nothing happy about that. That's you trying to force something or using a substance to try to make a false sense of you being happy. But that's not really happiness. So you can't even really describe when the last time you was happy, because every time you thought you were happy, it was a substance that was inducing that. It wasn't natural happiness. So we really have to go back. Like, when was the last time you were sober and actually happy? And let's recreate that moment. It's really easy. I don't like to, I'm in the last couple of months, I've been intentional on not saying that things are hard. Like, we hear all the time, life is hard, parenting is hard, like, love is hard. Like, none of this shit is supposed to be hard, y'all. And I do not believe it is, and I'm going to stop saying that, because I don't want a hard life. And there's plenty of people who do not live a hard life. Having adversity does not equate to having a hard life. Life is not hard. Life is very fucking simple. We make it hard. Dating is not hard. When people show you who they are, believe them. It's really not hard. But we make it hard by thinking, oh, maybe they just don't want to show their feelings. They just don't know how to express themselves. They don't fucking want you. It's real simple. But we make it hard. So all the things that's contributing to you not being hard, like, you can easily go buy a cash car, but you're too embarrassed to buy something that's going to get you from point A to point B, because you got to have this certain status. You making life hard. If all you need is transportation, get the transportation. We make it hard with these social standards. That's what we make life hard. But life is not hard, and it does not have to be. It does not have to be. And when you see that it can be so simple, then your pursuit to happiness is not going to be as hard as it's not going to be as long and drawn out, or as hard as you think that it's going to be. That's for one. Now, I want to get into, what time is it? Okay, good. Now I want to get into, like, actually pursuing, like the word pursuit, going after. When we are the pursuit of happiness, when we are going after happiness, which I, again, interchangeably use as for freedom. When we're going after our freedom, that's an action. That is an action. You're not sitting around waiting for something to happen to you. Being intentional on your happiness. What does a perfect life, if y'all in a Rebirth Society, y'all know we do the perfect life exercise, but what is a perfect life to you? What if you were to live a perfect life, and this is where you incorporate the material things, but if you had all of these things, the reason why I want you guys to understand this before you even get to the material things, because when you make money, because money solves all problems, but if you have money and you still have these problems unresolved, it's not going to do nothing but highlight the problems that you already have, because money does not change shit. Money does not change shit. Like, it answers problems. If you're not happy, it can give you a life coach. You can pay for a therapist. You can pay for food. You can pay for shit. Like, it helps, is a tool to help you get to the desired things that you need to help you be happy. But money itself is just a tool. It's just a resource. It has no emotional value to it. So when you have money and you're still not happy, you have money and you still haven't discovered why you're not happy and why you're not, your life isn't fulfilled the way you want it to do. That's why I feel like everybody should have money, because, or at least for a second, so everybody should experience having money, so that people without money can stop saying that, oh, if I had money, things would be better. No, if you are broken, you're still going to be broken with $100,000 in your bank account. You're still going to be sad with $100,000 in your bank account. Like, money does not change that. So I want you guys to understand that before you think that money is your problem. I just need to make some more money. No, you do not. You need to manage the money that you're currently making and figure out how you can be happy, because not having the money is not what's making you stressed out. Most of the time, it's just because you have root chakra blockages. That's your stability. That's your financial stability. That's your emotional stability. That's what makes you feel safe here on earth. That's what makes you feel prosperous. That's your foundation. So when anything outside of this isn't working right, you just got root chakra blockages for the most part. You got root chakra blockages. So when you start to do the work for that and discovering that, like, why am I living check to check? Why am I not making no money? Why do I keep attracting these relationships that people keep hurting me? These are defense mechanisms and trauma responses. When you keep attracting the same thing over and over and over again, but you're hoping that something else outside of you just working on or figuring out why you're attracting these things, that's the reason why that's the reason why when we have money, it doesn't solve the problem. Because the money, the problem isn't I can't explain it, or I can't get it out. So I love your root chakra yoga video. I need to make another one. I need to upgrade it. I keep saying that I'm gonna do it, but I haven't recorded. I'll do it tomorrow for sure. I'll do it tomorrow or tonight before I go to bed. But yeah, I forgot what I was about to say, but pretty much the reason why money does not do anything but magnify that, because money does not solve, material things do not solve internal problems, especially if it's like trauma or, wounds that need to actually be addressed. Like, money is not going to do anything but highlight those things. So let's be clear on that. That's why you say, like, when people on the side of the road, they be like, I don't want to give this crackhead no money. They might go buy crack or whatever. Or if you give them too much money, like a lot of times with addicts, that their families will deprive them of having their inheritance and stuff like that, because they know they're gonna do nothing but overdose. Having more money is not gonna solve whatever problem they got. And then also look at that, y'all. Y'all see how many successful people, like, if money solve problems, then it's literally the same thing as when people say like spiritual people are broke people. Like, most spiritual people are very poor, and then a lot of wealthy people, a lot of them are sad and depressed and things like that. Both of them are the polar opposites, but the same exact thing. With unhealed masculinity and unhealed femininity, it's literally the exact same thing. The people who are super feminine or super, like, creative and things like that, which is still femininity, like, they're not conform to capitalism. Like, they don't like to structure with anything. They don't. And y'all, this was me for forever. Like, it's still low-key me a little bit, but I'm somebody who has never really given a fuck about having a lot of money. Like, my problem is, the reason why I had to start focusing on getting structured and things like that is because the way that God is going to use me to bless other people, I have to have an abundance of money. I can't just be, being selfish, because when you're poor, especially when you have a talent and a gift to a purpose to be helping other people, you are doing yourself a disservice. So a lot of times when y'all are actually not happy and not feeling fulfilled, is because you are not operating when you are poor, you cannot help nobody else. And we are all meant to help other people. People who are successful are people who help people. You say, I need to get my cash together for my one-on-one. Go watch the video from last night. I mean, not last night. Yeah, tonight. Not last night. Go watch the video tonight. I'm doing free coaching calls this week, but I need y'all, you go watch it so you can see how to get it. But yeah, what was I about to say? Yeah, that's the reason why, like, on both sides of it, with me and being super feminine, I don't want to make a lot of money. I don't, or I ain't gonna say I don't now, but for a long time, like I didn't care about making a lot of money. And I honestly still don't care about making a lot of money. As long as my business is a multi-million-dollar business, that's cool. But the check that I cut for myself, I'm cool with like a smooth, like 40K a month. Like I ain't trying to get to like, I ain't gonna say 40K. I don't even need 40. Like that's still my business making that. But as far as like me paying myself, I'm cool with like a good maybe 4,000 or 5,000 a month. He said, what coaching call? In the Rebirth Society. So I do coaching calls in general. Like y'all don't have to be in a Rebirth Society to do coaching calls. My coaching calls are $66, but I do coaching call, like I only really announce it in the Rebirth Society because I don't teach like coaching on my platforms. So like, yeah, but yeah, y'all can book a coaching call at any time. I just don't be really promoting it nowhere. I should probably put a link in my my link tree on how to, on, you know, booking it or whatever. But yeah, I don't really do coaching calls. Like I don't really publicly announce the coaching calls. But in the Rebirth Society, they usually are the ones who get the calls. But I'm doing them for free this week for them. Just for this week. Y'all got like 2 more days because it end on Friday. But yes, and y'all better hurry to get on by my schedule because quick commercial break, you guys. Thank y'all for interrupting. But a quick commercial break. The not Rebirth Society, the Medicine Woman course, not the medicine. Y'all, I be having so much shit going on. The hormone challenge, okay? The hormone challenge is going to start in March, y'all. We already started. If y'all are referring people, thank y'all so much for referring people. I am doing referral bonuses. Like I have a referral program. You do not have to be in my community. You do not, it's really no obligation. All y'all have to do, like, I don't really care what type of platform you got because there's no obligation to you at all. But I'm paying people to refer people to this program. My target audience as far as who I be looking for is estheticians. So if you are an esthetician, or if you know somebody who's an esthetician, or a midwife, doula, anywhere in that area with estheticians, I'm targeting people who have hormonal acne, and then anything outside of that is just reproductive health. So if you know anybody, or you yourself, just you in whatever your industry, I know Monet, you do nails. Like if you refer people to the program and they do it, y'all get 15% off of their purchase. The actual I ain't gonna run no prices with y'all, but the actual 30-day program, that one you'll get about $100 per that referral, and then for the 90-day program it's about $600 or $700. So easy passive income. Like I said, it's no application, it's no like I ain't trying to bet you out of nothing. If you feel like you got the audience for it, then do it. But yeah, said, can I send my money now to get in the Rebirth Society? I've taken a class. Of course you can go, always pay it. The link is in your bio. Once you got your certification, is in that same link. The email with your certification in it is in that link. But yes, ma'am, you can go pay that right now. What was I about to say? Yeah, what was the last thing I was saying? What was we just talking about? Oh, the hormone challenge. So yes, the hormone challenge, we have brought it back. Y'all asked me for the 30-day one. So again, because everybody don't got the investment for the 90-day program, but we brought the 30-day back again. And my partner, which is one of my VIP students, she persuaded me to do the 30-day challenge, because y'all know we only do the 90-day challenge twice a year. I ain't got, that's already 6 months. We only do it twice a year. So we're doing it in March, and we're gonna do the next one in September. But the 30-day challenge, she said let's do it every month. I ain't got every month in me, so I said every other month with that one. So we are gonna have one in March, and I got a lot going on in April. So the next one gonna be May, and we're gonna do it back and forth like that for the rest of the year. But that's gonna be the new normal, pretty much, me just going through the hormone challenge. That's literally what I'm prioritizing for the rest of the year and going forward, just doing that, and then doing little events in between. Speaking of events, When I had a consultation, my assistant had a consultation earlier, and she said somebody asked about the Mirror workshop. That has been extended to April the 8th. And the reason why it's extended to April the 8th is because we were first going to do it in New Jersey, but when Zooty calls, I'm going to be on the islands. I'm going to be in Honduras in April for 2 weeks. It's a wedding. One of my first, thank you, love. One of my, well, the first woman that I helped to support her birth, as far as like being a doula. She is getting married, and it's the destination wedding, and she wants me to be a bridesmaid. So we're gonna be out on the island vibing for a couple of weeks. And I decided, since she is one of the people who was a speaker at the Rebirth Society, I mean at the Mirror workshop last year, or the last one we had in Houston, we just decided to do it out there as well, because we're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of women together anyway, so everybody can benefit from whoever's gonna be out there, as well as the people virtually. So we adjusted the tickets. There is no more VIP. Well, it is a VIP option, but the VIP option is just y'all getting a package from me. So before I leave, I'm gonna send out y'all packets. It's gonna be a spiritual bath in there. It's gonna be some crystals, some sage, a journal, and things like that, so that y'all can come to the event prepared. And then there's a general ticket. Both of these are virtual, but then it's gonna be a general ticket where y'all are just attending the event. The general is $25 and the VIP is $50. So get either one, and then you'll have your stuff mailed out to you before the event. And then you guys can all just tap in. We're gonna be on giving island vibes, but very much so healing. We always do the Mirror workshops around the full moon. I think the full moon is on the 6th, so we're gonna have the event on the 8th, on that Saturday. But it's gonna be very intimate. Last year was amazing. My mom came. Me and my mom don't have the best of relationships, but since that event, we have definitely been growing, getting back together. Her and the rest of my sisters, we've been getting together. And at almost 50 years old, my mom has finally went to therapy. She's finally starting to work on her health and things like that, and forgive my grandma. So y'all, trust me, if I got my mama in the room, and I hadn't talked to my mom in almost 2 years, and I actually got her to fly. She hadn't even been on a plane before, and got her to fly to Houston to come out to this event. Then anything is possible for y'all. And I created this event because it's too many women out here, especially Black women, who are, not only do everybody have like they family drama, but it's too many of us actually hating our parents, or hating them hating us. Like it's too much animosity, it's too much hurt, it's too much trauma that has been passed down for generation to generation to generation. And we want it to stop now, because we need our mothers. And as we have children, I know it's inevitable for me to have a daughter, because that's what we have girls. But I don't want to have that relationship with my daughter, although I forgave my mama years ago, because I wouldn't be able to heal wounds the way I do if I had not. But I forgave my mama years ago, but she still got other daughters. She still have, a mother that she hasn't forgiven, and a grandma that she hasn't forgiven. So that event helps on any level. I don't care if it's your grandma, your mama, your aunties, your nieces, your cousins. If they are over the age of 12, get them a ticket. Come to the event virtually. And y'all, please don't miss out on these gems. We're gonna still have amazing speakers. I'm not just by myself. I have other goddesses who are coming to help me join me on this healing experience as well. So make sure that y'all are in the room. And if you know anybody who we're not doing referrals. Y'all, I was eating some peanut brittle, and this shit is all in my teeth. But yeah, we don't what was I about to say? Fuck. Oh yeah, we're not doing a referral program for that one, but I do, it's only $25. So definitely share it with people that you know have, and I know it's too many of y'all, like y'all, especially if y'all coming from TikTok. We've had this conversation so many nights on so many live streams. So I know that y'all know it's there. Go get y'all ticket, buy some tickets for some people. Like, don't be stingy. Spread the information with people who you know for sure need it, because I know everybody knows somebody who don't get along with their mom. And I'm not talking about just back and forth. I'm talking about Listen, this is an intimate setting. It's for Black women, by Black women. That is the only thing. I'm inclusive to everybody else when it comes to everything else I offer. But if your mother is not Black, you are not welcome at this event. And I've had to tell a couple people that, and I'm saying it for our protection, because I want everybody to be as vulnerable. I want everybody to be as open as they possibly can, because last time it was all of that. It was all of that. Tears, crying, cleansing, purging, like people angry, getting it off their chest. Like, she called CPS on me. Like, I can't never forgive her for that. Working through shit, y'all. And it's very much so necessary. So I want it to be as safe as possible for us to just get it out. And if you have your parent there, if you have your mom there, or even if you don't, just come with no expectations, but have the intentions of releasing everything, forgiving, leaving it all right there in Honduras. We're gonna do I always do a ritual for you guys. Well, if you VIP, we're gonna do it together, but we're gonna have a whole ceremony done for this to let all of this go. Y'all, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. And I want you guys to enjoy that. I promise y'all the virtual experience was still lit last year. So please don't think that you're missing out on something because you're not physically there. You're gonna get all the works, whether it's virtual or not. So get y'all tickets. The link will be in the description for my link tree. All of my links are there, but it says for that one, it's Mirror Workshop Honduras. And get y'all tickets, for real. Get y'all tickets. But yeah, what else we talking about before the commercial break? I got like 15 minutes. But we are going on TikTok tonight, y'all. I said I was going to do it last week and I didn't do it. When I got off of here, I just didn't do it. But I'm going to do a reading tonight on TikTok. So we are going to go vibe over there for a second. But back to the pursuit of happiness, or just recapping the conversation that we were having. And y'all hit the likes, y'all. Hit the likes, hit the share. Y'all, I am again being super transparent, and this is not even about just the pursuit of happiness. This is just about me giving y'all a little update on what I got going on right now. But I told y'all last year, the end of last year, that 2023 is going to be very pivotal, and it is coming in hot. Okay, like everything has been transitioning. I was saying earlier, you know, everything, Spirit has literally just been changing my perspective on everything that I thought I knew, everything that I thought was important to me. All of that stuff is being shifted and changed for the better. I can see myself in real time. It's really like a not astral projection, but like a quantum leap. I'm really feeling it in that aspect, like just jumping timelines, like, because everything is just coming so fast. And I wanted to say that because I was saying earlier on Facebook how I didn't even know my chill vibe stop. But I was saying it earlier on Facebook how the last couple of days I've been getting so much anxiety, like trying to I did not know I had a fear of being rejected. I didn't know that. That's something I just learned like 4 days ago, that I have a fear of rejection, like a very big fear of rejection. The reason why I didn't know that was because, like, I guess it's because I always just like kind of compared it to like with guys, like, because a lot of times when we hear rejection, it's usually like a job telling me no. Like, it's a plenty of times like somebody did deny me something. I got denied for loans. I'm still gonna apply. Not loans, like credit cards and shit like that. I've been most of the time they telling me no because my credit is fucked, and I've been denied a lot of times when it comes to like applications or applying for something. It doesn't stop me from like applying to it. And then like relationships, it's not really often that I've been denied like by a guy. Like, I've never been denied like shooting my shot. But I guess as I was like kind of bringing this up to like kind of see like, when have I been really denied for something? Like, I'm going through all these lists and I'm like, well, I guess I would be considered denied when I'm dating somebody and I want it to be more serious and they're not growing enough to keep me, or, you know, they're choosing not to commit to me and things like that. I guess that's a form of denial as well. But what made me understand or know, like, as far as like why my business isn't going the way hasn't grown as I wanted to grow over the last couple of years, is because I have a fear of rejection. And by rejection, it's typically from like me in business, like doing sales. I'm not good at sales. As far as me like closing a sale, getting somebody on the phone, like a cold call and things like that. I just started doing cold calls in my business, as far as, because I've been saying I need a sales team. I've been applications been up. Y'all go look on Indeed if y'all good in sales. I need a sales team. I need a sales team. And so I've been doing that over the last couple of days. And when I say I literally have to meditate and drink some calming tea and do some mirror work and do some affirmations and some mantras, like a whole little 30 to an hour minute spiel for me to make the first phone call, that's like high level anxiety for no fucking reason. And I literally have to sit there and tell myself it, like, bro, the worst thing they can say is no. The worst thing they can do is hang up. But like when you first, like the first person that I call, it literally introduced myself. And then when I said the first line, they just hung up on me. Like, that like hurt, but it was just like it hit hard, and then I could breathe after, like, okay, well, nothing happened. That's right. Let's go to the next person. Like, because it's crazy to me. Like, I know that it doesn't really bother me, but I'm trying to figure out why the fuck does it really bother me, because bro, like, they're really not doing nothing. And I know that. And I say this to say, I guess, like, why Spirit chose me to use that, but was because of the fact that a lot of times we don't think that we have certain problems because it works well, or what we call a functioning dysfunction. We've been doing it so well in other areas, but the area that it matters the most, we're not good at it. And it's like, well, that's not a problem. You're not looking at it as a problem because you're so good at it in other areas. But for me, I've always said I hated sales because I don't like, even with me just being super introverted, I'm not somebody who can walk up to somebody and say, hey girl, like, I'm such and such and I do this. Like, that is not me. Like, and I'm not going to say in no world that would be me, because I'm striving to be a person who's that confident. Like, and I even look at that as a lack of confidence. Like, what the fuck are you scared of? And I literally have to tell myself this, y'all. Like, what are you scared of? Like, what? They're not doing anything to hurt you. Like, this is not hurting you in any way, and nothing is gonna stop that. I don't really give a fuck as to why I feel like that. My thing is, how do I get out of it? And by getting out of it, I'm literally just calling people all day long and getting hung up on all day long, getting told no, getting my calls ignored. Like, that's how I've been working through that. So I guess to bring this conversation around full circle, like, sometimes you need to do the very thing that scares you the most. Do the very thing that scares you the most. On the other side of that is going to be literally the key to everything that you want the answers to. Everything that you feel like, why can't I make enough money? Why can't I find this? Is going to be behind that very thing that you do not want to do. For some of y'all, it's being single, because you just hop from one relationship to the next. If you just don't want to be single, you just don't want to sit by yourself, then be single, be intentional, stop having sex, give yourself a year to not have sex. Like, something that you just feel like is super far-fetched, like, go vegan cold turkey, go fasting, whatever you feel like is just like, I could never do that. Like, oh, that's admirable, but I could never do that. Whatever that thing is, just fucking do it. Or something that you say all the time, like, I hate this, I just really don't like this, and you don't know why. You just feel like it's just because you're not good at it. Go do that thing and be intentional on trying to be good at it, because that's the discipline that we need. I would have never thought that, even with other people. Like, I know that I'm a generally confident person, but being introverted and being confident don't go together. So people like, how are you confident? When I'm confident in circumstances where I'm comfortable. Like, that's me being confident. And some people will question and saying, like, well, that's not really confident then, because you should be confident in any area. And I don't feel like that. I really feel like competence builds confidence. if I know something for sure, if I'm in an environment of people that I trust, I'm at one of my events or I'm at an event that somebody invited me to, but I trust the vibes, the energy is good and things like that, you're gonna get this version of me on social media. You're gonna get this version of me because I'm fucking at home, like, and I'm talking to people who fuck with me. So this is comfortable to me. But going somewhere else, like walking up to a stranger, advertising my business, posting a lot, and y'all probably think I still post a lot, but like actually posting a lot, like spamming posting on my social media or spamming my email list and things like that, like with quality information, of course, but a lot of times I just feel like I don't want to bother nobody, like, or I don't follow. Y'all, the biggest problem that I have in business is I don't follow up as much as I should, and that's where a lot of the money be, like not following up. But I'm the type of person, for so long I just like, bro, you know if you want it or not. Like, I don't want to get on nobody's nerves because I don't like when people do it to me. But as I'm learning, as I'm growing, like, y'all, just do the work. And I say all this to say, and I'm gonna wrap this up and call it a night. But y'all, the pursuit of happiness starts by enjoying the journey. Like, and I feel like this is so cliche and everybody say that shit, but you have to learn to love the journey. Like, I cannot express this enough. And that is easier said than done, because it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to be happy when I'm about to get evicted? How am I supposed to be happy when my car just got repoed? And I'm just like, like, you have to learn how to find something to laugh at. Like, that's why they always say, like, comedians are the most depressed people, because they can make a joke out of anything or whatever, and is really a lot of truth to it. But I always say the same thing, like, I laugh at a lot of stuff, and not just because of me hiding behind something dark. I'm just naturally goofy, and I'm glad I have that aspect about myself, because I can find things to laugh at. I can find things to laugh at. My car was repoed on fucking Thanksgiving, and I was about to go to Houston and dance. I was about to go to Houston and dance for the weekend, like, and I went outside and my car was not outside. Like, literally had my dog's babysitter and everything, like, telling her I was on the way to come drop him off and everything, and my car was not outside. Bro, I was just like, I know you fucking lying. And I couldn't even get mad. I just walked back in the house, took my clothes off. It was just like, never mind, we not coming to the babysitter or whatever. And I called my sister like, bruh, you won't believe this shit. Nothing is fucking funny about that. But I laugh because everything that I go through, I'm just like, bro, this shit gonna be so funny in my book. And I know, like, you know how you, in movies and stuff, they'll be like, you're crying about it now, but we're going to be able to look back at this and laugh at this one day. Why that one day can't be today? I know for sure 5 years from now, this is not going to be important to me. It's just a car. Like, I'll get another one. So I just don't spend a lot of time crying over spilled milk. I don't spend a lot of time, like, worried about things that don't matter. Like, my health concern, that would be a little bit different. But material shit, like stuff that don't matter, something that I can buy again tomorrow, that shit don't matter. I'm more concerned about the shit that's being damaged, or the parts of me that I'm losing that's actually gonna be with me in another 5 to 10 to 20, the rest of my fucking life. I'm worried about my sanity. I'm worried about my heart getting colder and colder, like that getting away from me, that love and that nurture getting away from me. I'm more worried about that than a piece of credit score. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Not saying that you shouldn't, but you shouldn't be caring about that more than you care about your sanity. And I'm just saying, I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I hope that this made sense, so that I was able to bring this around to y'all in a full circle, so that y'all get some type of insight from this. Like, I really hope that y'all did. Let me know down in the comments if y'all did, if y'all enjoyed this. Make sure y'all give it a thumbs up. Y'all, we still trying to get monetized, so make sure that y'all give it a thumbs up. Y'all comment down below so I can engage with y'all, or we can get in the good graces of the YouTube guys. But hit that subscription button if you're not already subscribed, because there's plenty more videos where this came from, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.